After all the praise due to Allah and salutations, myriads of salutations to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I would like to thank MCA and Bilal Mosque to help us organize this beautiful session of Das al-Quran. Inshallah, in our continuous Das al-Quran, today we will cover Suratul Faatiha, nearly the last part, although it's an ocean actually, the Quran. In Surah Qahf, أَقُلْ لَوْ كَانَ الْبَحْرُ مِدَادًا لِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّي. Tell them that if you bring to write the kalima of your Lord and make all the oceans ink, لَنَفِذَ الْبَحْرُ قَبْلَ أَن تَنْفَذَ كَلِمَاتُ رَبِّي. The ocean of ink will expire قَبْلَ أَن تَنْفَذَ كَلِمَاتُ رَبِّي, before the completion of writing the kalima of your Lord. وَلَوْ جِئْنَا بِمِثْلِهِ مَدَدًا. If you bring a similar amount of ink to write the kalima of your Lord, subhanAllah. So this is the beauty of the Quran. The more you explore, the deeper you get into the meanings, get into the profundity of the Quran. Today, inshallah, Hidina Suratul Mustaqim, we covered last week the people who are eligible for receiving Hidayah. And on top of that, what Hidayah is important, most of all for Hidayah, you need to ask for Hidayah every single moment. Every single rakah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it compulsory and it's mandatory. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam illa bi Faatihatil Kitab. There is no salah without reciting Suratul Faatiha. And after that, what comes? Another ayah, Suratul ladhina an'amta alayhim, the path of those who you have favored with blessings. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, and not the path of those who have been cursed. وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ آمِنًا, nor those who went astray. So it has two parts. One part is maghdub, not the path of those who have been cursed. Another part is who has been made astray, who are astray. However, to make sure, because time is also short, I will inshallah focus on maghdub, people who have been cursed. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned a different type of people who have been cursed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who have been cursed from the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and upon whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent adab, chastisements, punishment. And among those people from Bani Israel, they الَّذِينَ يَكْفِرُونَ بِآيَاتِ وَيَقْتُلُونَ النَّبِيِّينَ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ. They have rejected the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ayah has two connotations. One is the ayah sent by the Prophet, revealed to the Prophet, and the Prophet praised it. This is the ayah, the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the kalam of Allah. Another ayah is the signs. The signs you can see around you. إِنَّ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Definitely in the rotations of the earth, in day and night, and in the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in heavens and earth, you see ayah, la'ayatin, the signs, the ulil albab, for those people who are knowledgeable. So this is another connotation in the meaning of ayah. So those who rejected the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one rejection is when the Prophet, they came with the revelation, with the message, and they completely rejected it, denied it. And second thing is, they saw around them, then they never explored it to find who is the creator, who is the designer. Does he have any message for us? Do we have any way of life, any code of life for us on this earth, any guidance for us? You never look for that. So for those people, Allah says that these are the people who, that they are maghdub. They are maghdub. Allah now mentions about the people what happened to the people in Surah Al-Fajr. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi'ad. Do you not see how your Lord dealt with the people of Ad? Iram dhati al-imad. They built lofty buildings on earth. Iram dhati al-imad allati lam yukhlaq mithluha fil bilad. And like which there was no parable on earth, no match of which the buildings, they built lofty buildings. The people of Iran, in Iran city, has been discovered just a couple of decades ago. The people city underground city discovered, which was so luxurious, much more luxurious, pompous city. You will just be dazzled seeing the wealth and rich discovered in the city. So this is, you can see how people were destroyed in Pompeii, maybe it's Italy. So now you find the modern discoveries, modern explorations are digging out, finding out all the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to prove that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one day these people were destroyed, were perished. وَثَمُودَ الَّذِينَ جَابُوا الصَّخْرَ بِالْوَادِ Thamud were the people. Do you know how they were engineered? Their architecture was so sophisticated that they would build architecture, they would build houses in the valleys, inside the mountains, leaving the mountains intact. Inside the mountains they would build palatial houses. That was their technology at that time. So those things, how they built it, even if you go to the pyramids of Egypt, people are not finding now how they built it, how these hundreds of tons of stones were lifted up to place them on the layers to be able to build the pyramids. They're not finding, subhanAllah. So those people, powerful people, Allah is mentioning about them. That وَثَمُودَ الَّذِينَ جَابُوا الصَّخْرَ بِالْوَادِ وَفِرْعَوْنَ ذِي الْأَوْتَادِ and Fir'aun ذِي الْأَوْتَادِ. Allah has mentioned Fir'aun as the people who put people on the cross. They would kill people by putting them on the cross, hanging them on the cross, and they would nail them on their both hands, even on their heads. They would kill them people in the most barbaric way. So these Fir'aun, the الْأَوْتَادِ الَّذِينَ طَغَوْا فِي الْبِلَادِ, what happened to them? They طَغَوْا فِي الْبِلَادِ, transgressed on earth. They were rebellious people on earth. فَأَكْثَرُوا فِيهَا الْفَسَادِ, and they spread anarchy. They spread lots of corruptions in the cities. فَصَبَّ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّكَ سَوْطَ عَذَابٍ, and your Lord imposed upon them, sent upon them adab. So these are the people, because why? The reason is, number one, they are having luxurious life, forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His message, and the dawah, denying or rejecting the dawah sent by the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and torturing people, like I said, Fir'aun ذِي الْأَوْتَادِ. In the history, if you go, you see the Egyptian history, you can still see the hieroglyphics on the walls of inside the walls of the pyramids. You can see the pictures that they are torturing people. In the pictures still, 3,000 years ago, those pictures were from. So you can say this is 2,300 years, and nearly 600 to 700 is BC, meaning nearly over 3,000 years ago. Those people were existing, and those people were dominating the earth, and they were torturing and persecuting their opponents and their subjects. So now, another thing is they were rejecting the dawah of the prophets and spreading too much corruption on earth. And look at the people of Lot. If you look at the people of Lot, what happened to these people? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they are spreading nudity on earth, lewdness on earth. For this reason, these people, Lot, were destroyed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَجَعَلْنَا عَالِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ حِجَارَةٍ مِّن سِجِّيلٍ. In Surah Hijr, verse 74, Allah says that, فَجَعَلْنَا عَالِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا, I've made عَالِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا, the upside down. وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ حِجَارَةٍ مِّن سِجِّيلٍ, and I've rained them, I've showered them from sijil, baked clays upon them. And those baked clays, the science says, the archaeologists, they find that those baked clays are lava actually. And the area where it happened, nearly 400, at that time, I told you the story about the people of Lot, again nearly 300 or 400 BC, before Christ. Those people were made go underground. What happened? That at Dead Sea, now the current findings tell us, on the bank of Dead Sea, their remains are found. And the Dead Sea become the lowest part on earth. It is as lowest as 430 meters from the sea level, which was the highest, the toppest. Allah said, فَجَعَلْنَا عَالِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا. I've made the upside down. And if you find those stories, all the story what happened to these people, from verses, go to verse 65 and onward, up to 80, perhaps, in Surah here. And you will find in more other surahs, definitely. So, now, in terms of Pharaoh, another interesting things happened to Pharaoh. This Maghdub, one of the Maghdub Pharaoh. What happened to him? Allah says about that, look, I've left this Pharaoh, the dead body of Pharaoh, intact for you, so the coming generation comes and see what happened to this tyrant ruler. This Pharaoh, with his people, with his army, were chasing who? Musa alayhi salam. And Allah has stopped them on the bank of the Nile river. And what happened to Pharaoh? Pharaoh was drowned to death. And Allah says in Quran Surah Yunus, verse 92, that اليوم ننجيك ببدنك لتكون لمن خلفك آية. اليوم today ننجيك لتكون ننجيك لبدنك. We will leave your body alive today. لتكون لمن خلفك آية. So it comes an ayah, a sign for the people, for the coming generation. Interestingly, in 1881, the only dead body was found on the bank of the river Nile. That was Pharaoh's. And Ramses II, they say that the mark of salty mud clay was still there in his body. And Dr. Maurice Bukhari, he was sent from France by the Saudi government to do this forensic test and all these things. And they found the outcome was what? The outcome was astonishing. That this body is alive. I mean, the body is completely intact. وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا لَغَافِلُونَ. However, most of the people do not pay heed to our signs. We leave the signs. Why? So that people can learn lessons from these signs. But look at this today's situation in countries, apart from not just non-Muslim countries. Okay, people are being mostly Muslims are being mostly tortured in Muslim countries, in their own countries. Tyrant rulers are growing every day. They're growing bigger every day. So Allah says that this is why I've left it for you. So it becomes a sign for you. So these are the people, Maghdub, basically. There are lots of examples of Maghdub, meaning the people who have been cursed. However, we will learn from these people that you cannot transgress. You cannot be rebellious. You have to accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's message, sent by our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sent by all other prophets previously coming on off. Allah give us the knowledge, Allah give us the ability, Allah give us the opportunity to learn more about, to explore more about His message, and inshallah spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do da'wah. Inshallah. Jazakumullah for listening.